I'm chatting with Hamish Saxton, who's the CEO of Tourism Dunedin. Thanks for having a chat with us today.
Pleasure.
Now, what is it? Can you tell us a little bit about Dunedin, maybe a bit of history and the heritage of the area?
Yes, certainly. Look, Dunedin was settled initially by Scots. They wanted to get as far away as they could from Scotland, and they found this little piece of paradise right here. And after their settlement here, very soon there was a gold rush. It was a major gold rush. It was bigger than the one in the US. It was bigger than the Victorian one in Australia. And so suddenly this tiny little settlement just filled with people and also filled with wealth. So Dunedin was, at that stage, the financial capital of New Zealand. It'd be fair to say that was our last major financial boom, so the legacy of that has been a history and a legacy of amazing architecture, heritage architecture. But more than that, also, it's a great place for wildlife, and we'll talk about that later.
Fantastic. So what is it now that what is it that you personally love about Dunedin, living here?
I think I just love the fact that Dunedin is a city of extraordinary contrast. There's such yin and yang to it. A beautiful day like today, we've got extraordinary light hitting the place, and there is an extraordinary beauty to it for a city, for people who aren't wanting a city holiday. This place is really lovely and small and compact and easy to get around. Spookily enough, for a place with so many hills, it's a real walker's city. The beach is only a 10 to 15 minute drive from the centre of town. We have a rush hour of about 5 minutes. But for those people who don't want to have a city experience as well, it only takes 15 minutes or so, probably even less, to get as far away from the city as you possibly can. And we are also famed for our Otago Peninsula, which is home to extraordinary wildlife.
Hamish, what about food? If I want to go out for a good meal, are there some good restaurants and cafes here that I can go to?
Yeah, there are, and actually, much like the accommodation, it starts right from the basics of fish and chips, really good fish and chips down at the beach here for about $3 or $4, right up to a full 5-6 course degustation. But the thing I really like is the produce that we're able to access locally, right here, right by the sea, fantastic seafood. New Zealand's prowess as a farming country, access to venison and lamb, and for the vegetarians, well, we've got absolutely everything, and they'll be also enjoying the organic produce. Every Saturday morning there's a terrific farmers market just locally, and a lot of suppliers come from right around the entire region, including from areas such as Central Otago. So Central Otago is very well known also for its fruits. So apples from Central Otago, cheese from the Waitaki, and terrific producers here in Dunedin.
So around what sort of sets Dunedin apart?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I'd hate for this interview to come across as us as a marketing organisation ending up saying, yeah, we're all things to all people, and Dunedin has absolutely everything for everybody. I think that Dunedin suits certain personalities. I think that, as I touched earlier on, that we're a city of contrasts. There's a Gothic feel to the city as well. On a grey day, the architecture, you can see some gargoyles in the architecture. It can be quite spooky. It could look as though it's a Wuthering Heights day very, very easily. So I think there's a brooding sort of intrigue and a romanticism to the place. A lot of places sort of put photographs of what their city's like on a fantastic day, but I think that we need to sort of show what we look like on a really stormy and intriguing day as well, because there is that nice feeling that you can be in a room such as this overlooking a really stormy day, some bottles of Pinot Noir and some local produce, and that to me makes a really, really good break. I also feel that because Dunedin does have that appeal, and because it's just slightly, ever so slightly off the beaten track, the experience is perhaps less commercial and one that you have to buy into more. And I think that out of that you have a far better experience. Lastly, I think that the thing that I really like about it is that rather than just building attractions or activities for people or hoping that they'll supply a tourist market, I think that Dunedin visitors come here because we've ended up with, or by default, these attractions and activities naturally. The fact that the Albatross have ended up at the tip of the peninsula, that's happened naturally. The fact that Dunedin's financial success, or perhaps not such a great success, has led to these buildings being preserved because they weren't knocked down, means that by default we've ended up with this fantastic legacy. So in that respect, we're not all things to all people. There is an acquired appeal to this, and I think that for the people who get that, they're going to be absolutely delighted by the result.